you. And I'm just going to turn it over to them and let them go ahead and present. Thank you.
Hello. Like she said, we are Colbert County High School. My name is Brooklyn Godwin. I am the Career Tech representative for our group. We decided to come up with a title for our presentation called Start Local, Think Global. And what inspired this was the idea that the digital technology we were going to purchase with our grant was going to allow us to start within our classrooms and ideally reach beyond our classrooms, collaborating with other teachers and students within the different subjects. So if you will go to dot number 1. And you can go to dot number 2. Okay, so who are we? We are Colbert County High School. We are located in Leeton, Alabama. Next slide. And our group is made up of our principal, Mr. Melcha Satchel. Our history department representative is Miss Angela Campbell. Our math department representative is Miss Denise Russell. Our English department representative is Miss Renee Thornton. Science department representative is Miss Charlotte Atwood. And then myself, Miss Brooklyn Godwin, is the career tech department representative. Here are our student demographics. We are made up mostly of white students, the majority being white males, followed then by our second largest group, which is our African American students, in which we have more females than males. I'm sorry, we've got an announcement coming in.
I need to let Hannah Brumfield know that she needs to check out at 2:45. Mr. Robertson's room. Okay,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, our free and reduced lunch as of the end of February of this year is 70% free and 6% reduced lunch. Next slide, please. We have a bring your own device policy here. This includes any device such as a cell phone, tablet, iPad, and laptop. At the beginning of the year, we ask parents to jot down the serial number of each digital device. However, in our classrooms that do have classroom desktops such as mine and the other career tech teachers, we do restrict the use of personal devices just so that we can make sure they are engaged with our devices that are in our classroom. Next slide, please. So our long-range school plan consists of 6 different ideas, all taken from the professional development within the grant study. The first bubble, titled The Grant, is just going to introduce basically what we're using our grant for. So we were able to purchase 112 Chromebooks. The members that teach in core classrooms, math, science, history, and English, will now have a classroom set for their students. Next slide, please.
In student collaboration, we can use the laptops and the technology in making assignments such as in Google Docs. Each student will have their own Google Drive folder that allows students and teachers to access previous work, and educators can even assign grades within this classroom. Some of the examples that can be used for projects would be through Prezi, a web application that allows students to create Zooming presentations for various purposes. They can also use PowerPoint when working on projects. Discussion boards. With online discussions, students have a chance to engage with each other virtually, often having their thoughts and opinions validated. And afterwards, they're typically more willing to share out loud in class and often share in thoughtful ways. We've also thought of building a class website and having students maintain that website and add important information that's going on at school and in the classroom. Collaboration across discipline would allow teachers to collaborate with other teachers in their field of study, as well as teachers from across our district and teachers across the country. Collaborations with students nationwide would allow us to work on projects or collaborate on content with other students from across the nation and beyond. Next slide.
The next thing we have to talk about is PBL, the project-based learning. We plan to implement project-based learning in each discipline by using these Chromebooks. This allows the teachers to individualize learning by providing students with projects and activities that are relevant to them and help them to acquire deeper understanding of problems and different ways to solve them. This also allows for students to take ownership of their learning by allowing students to create and take part in assignments that are of interest to them. So we want to get them involved in things that they really are interested in and put more effort into their projects. Project-based learning also allows students to take part in solving real-world current problems and will allow the teachers to be able to diversify and differentiate assignments for each student. Okay, next slide.
We also believe that the grant study and the Chromebooks are going to help us increase our efficiency. So our communication will be mainstreamed along with teacher to teacher or teacher to student, teacher to parent. It will also allow us easier access to students being able to email us and to use our Remind 101. Students will be able to carry on academic conversations with peers, not only at our school, but other locations around our system or in other parts of the world. It will also allow them to collaborate on certain projects and discussion posts. We will use them daily, starting with the bell ringers in each class, and also be able to wrap up at the end of each block or period with our exit slips. So this allows us to know what learning is taking place, to be able to do a judgment at the end of each day, to know what reteaching may need to be carried out the next day. It also makes turning in assignments easier. And again, it gives us immediate feedback as well as the students' feedback on their learning. And by 2022, we are hoping to be a one-to-one in all of our core classrooms. Next slide.
Our next topic was removing barriers. Because of the advancement in society with technology is being utilized daily, hourly, every minute, simply every second. It would be a disservice for our students to graduate without being prepared for the skills to manage or operate programs required by employers or by universities in the post-secondary level. Online classes, convenience to offer different programs, job training, tutorials are just some of the few things that can be offered by a learning management system. More classes or courses can be offered, advanced courses for students that may want to take German or other things where we do not have teachers certified in those areas by providing these items to students. Remediation, summer school, and credit recovery are also different programs and opportunities that the kids can use. Credentialing to support the accountability and an opportunity to expose students to other career choices. Also provide us with hands-on activity, project-based learning activities, the ability for students to expand beyond the classroom setting or the rural settings of our community with the use of technology, and the ability to enhance each student's view of the world, careers, and life. Next slide.
Technological fluency. In producing students that access digital fluency. Participation in the grant study has afforded us the opportunity to obtain Chromebooks for our students to use on a regular basis. Consistent access and use of these devices will help our students become more familiar with completing tasks digitally rather than always using paper and pencil. An increasing awareness about digital footprints and digital citizenship. Consistent access to devices will allow us to educate our students about appropriate use of technology and the potential long-term repercussions when digital devices are abused. And all of the students to explore and utilize a variety of digital resources to improve digital efficiency. Our students will have opportunity to learn that there is a whole world at their fingertips. We'll teach our students that a device is a powerful tool that can do much more for them than link them to the latest social media pages. Next slide.
Okay, on this slide, we're looking at our professional development. Can you flip it to the next one? Okay, thank you. Together, we believe that we are stronger. We are able now to share more resources, not only amongst our teachers and our faculty and staff at school, but with our students and with our parents and with our community. And with technology comes information and also ideas, and ideas do change life. And also we're able to show them more about career choices and college ideas. Together we are wiser, which we encourage peer observations here at school, as well as between our middle school and the elementary school, to see how a variety of technology or technological sources and resources are being used. We're also able to bring in some new ideas and utilize those in classrooms and share those out in the different departments. Together we can reach new heights. So we're hoping to increase the level of cross collaboration between our departments and to increase our project-based learning. We're hoping to keep setting our bar higher for our educators and our students alike.
Next slide, please. So one additional thing that we got from the PD was where it focused on our classroom setting. These Chromebooks are going to allow for us to focus on bringing our classrooms up to date with the digital age by transforming our classrooms to an online setting, which is going to make the content much more relevant to our student body, and also increase the efficiency by minimizing the use of pencil and paper. This is going to result in formative assessments that are immediate, assessments that are going to take place daily, and will allow us to review that data and proceed forward the next day with instruction. One other idea that we really liked from the professional development was the idea of flipping our classroom, which would enhance our classroom time by saving the instruction for outside of class through videos, article readings, additional assignments, and so forth, and which would allow us to dive deeper when we are in the classrooms and focus more on hands-on projects or labs due to the amount of the extra amount of allotted time working with our students and collaborating in class. Next slide, please. So, and we also like the connections that we learned about in the professional development. One of those connections being the professional learning networks, engaging in professional learning networks on a local level, but also globally. This includes groups that we may find on Facebook and Twitter, and engaging in strong supportive learning communities found on Edutopia and Edmentum. Our connections as far as our students is going to change greatly due to the PD. We have learned to let go of that fear of not controlling our classroom at all times and allowing them to take control, and instead of teaching them, let them teach us, collaborating with them and making the learning environment more comfortable for our students. The other connection that we focused on was the stakeholder connection, understanding that connectivity, community, and communication is power. When we can increase the level of communication and diversify our communication with our stakeholders, we can bring them involved, our parents and community involved, and allow for them to have a more active role in the learning process of our students. Next slide, please.
The next thing we'd like to talk about is digital citizenship. This empowers students to become careful, wise, and safe users of technology, not only at school, but at home. A lot of our students don't understand that what they put out there online is there forever. And as an English teacher, I see students that don't understand how to decipher a website if it's reputable or not. So these Chromebooks are going to allow me in my classroom to demonstrate. I can demonstrate on my projector and the students can follow along with me. We also want them to be able to create experiences that allow students to use digital resources in a positive and efficient way. They will be given opportunities to create a safe and positive online community, and we want to be able to discuss with students how to determine if a source is credible or not, no matter what content area we are in, and promote safe browsing strategies. So we hope to be able to implement all these strategies with these Chromebooks. Okay, next slide.
The next topic, curriculum. The method or process of using digital device to promote learning in all students, regardless of their ability or socioeconomic background, is the advantage of using technology. Data can be obtained instantly from the use of technology, which can drive instruction, such as for reteaching, tiered instruction, grouping, and also change the method of instruction. 2 and 3 can influence one another. Utilizing computer-based programs, program of lessons and activities can be designed to meet individual students' needs, such as a prescriptive method. Gadgets have changed. Tablets, cell phones, and other digital devices are being placed in the hands of children at a very early age. The traditional setting will not be the most effective method. The most effective for student learning would be greatly impacted, and this would show on the student's assessment by the use of technology. Next slide.
Questions? Okay. Any questions?
Okay, at this time, we'll take any questions that you may have.
So Angelita, you mentioned, how challenging it was this is Lynn, by the way, with JSU, how challenging it was for you guys to kind of turn over control and letting your students collaborate. So what did you guys do to overcome those feelings? Just maybe let them have the devices more and let them collaborate, or did it just take more time to get used to that idea?
Are you asking what are we going to do to allow or to give them more control?
Well, it seemed like, it seemed like that was something that you mentioned that the teachers had to change their minds about, I guess.
Yes. I think seeing the results of problem-based or project-based learning and allowing them to have more input on the types of assignment or assessments that they choose. Not giving them so many restrictions on the assignments and like the worksheets that they do day in and day out. And through the project-based learning that we observe within the professional development, we just sort of realize that when you give students more say and more control, when they are given the opportunity to reteach or teach you something, they're going to retain that knowledge better than they would if you are just giving information to them and expecting them to regurgitate it.
I agree. That's a true statement. It's true at all levels. So any other questions for our team from Colbert County? Okay, I don't think we have anything else. Anything else on your end?
There is one additional slide. We just want to thank JSU for giving us the opportunity to participate in the grant study. this opportunity has really allowed for us to bridge that gap, and everything that we mentioned in our 5-year plan and from what we've learned in the PD is not only going to impact our students and us, but as a school, I feel like it's really going to take us to the next level. So we just all, on Colbert County, this team's behalf, we just really want to say thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for participating. We look forward to the next year as we continue to work on the task. So you're very welcome. Okay, well, you guys have a great rest of your day, and we're gonna wrap up your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll take a quick break while we wait for the final